This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Ke and Go gear up for the Philippine Open. Racing Titans align. Marquez joins Ducati. Hamilton shifts to Ferrari for the 2025 season. Ben Johnson takes on the Chicago Bears. In the NBA, the Boston Celtics crush the Golden State Warriors, while the Cleveland Cavaliers dominate the Phoenix Suns on a Martin Luther King Day showdown. And we have Philippine gymnastics dynamo Olympian Emma Malabuyo. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 21st of January. Now, here's our roundup. Angelo, Ke, and Lloyd Go are ready to take on the challenge of the prestigious Philippine Open, set to kick off the 2025 Asian Tour season on January 23 at the Manila Southwoods' Masters Course in Carmona, Cavite. With a $500,000 prize pool and a competitive international field, the event promises to be a true test for even the most seasoned golfers. Ke, a three-time Asian Tour winner, can't wait to get into the action. But while the course may be familiar to the veteran, Ke is keeping his expectations in check. For Go, the Philippine Open marks a new chapter as the 29-year-old is stepping up to the challenge of the Masters course for the first time, having previously only practiced there. And he knows he has to step up his game. Despite the challenge, Go is riding high on the momentum of a breakout 2024 season where he clinched his first Philippine Golf Tour win. Though he narrowly missed full status on the Japan Golf Tour, Go is now shifting his attention to the European Challenge Tour in 2025. Both Ke and Go are driven by the same goal, to claim one of Philippine golf's most coveted titles. Though the road to victory may take different routes, one thing's for sure, it's going to be an exciting ride to the finish line. The 2025 motorsports season is shaping up to be historic as two racing legends, Marc Marquez and Lewis Hamilton, make monumental moves in their respective disciplines, MotoGP and Formula One. In MotoGP, Marc Marquez, the six-time Premier Class World Champion, has joined forces with reigning champion Francesco Bagnaia and Ducati. The duo was unveiled at a scenic launch event in Madonna di Campiglio, Italy, alongside Ducati's newly designed GP25 bikes in their iconic red livery. Marquez is eager to reignite his dominance, and with 11 world championships between them, Ducati now boasts the strongest lineup on the MotoGP grid. The team's preparations begin with tests in Sepang and Buriram before the Thai season opener on February 28. Meanwhile, in Formula One, seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton officially began his tenure with Ferrari, leaving Mercedes after nearly a decade. On his first day in Maranello, Hamilton was greeted by throngs of passionate tifosi, creating a frenzy in the streets. Hamilton met with Ferrari's leadership, including team principal Fred Vasseur and President John Elkann, and posed outside Enzo Ferrari's historic office with a Ferrari F40, his favorite supercar. Ferrari's 2025 Challenger, codenamed Project 677, will debut on February 19, setting the stage for Hamilton to chase his eighth title with the prancing horse. As Marquez and Hamilton adapt to their new teams, the motorsport world eagerly anticipates fierce rivalries and unforgettable moments, both signifying transitions, a blend of legacy and ambition, promising an exhilarating 2025 season for fans worldwide. And here's some NFL news. In a move that could redefine the Chicago Bears' future, Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson is set to become the new head coach of the storied franchise. This is according to ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter. The 38-year-old is finalizing the deal just days after the Lions' playoff exit at the hands of the Washington Commanders. Johnson's appointment comes as no surprise as he has been one of the NFL's hottest coaching candidates, earning a reputation for his offensive genius. After passing on multiple head coaching opportunities last season, Johnson is making a divisional leap before joining Detroit's bitter rivals. Johnson's arrival is music to the ears of Bears quarterback Caleb Williams, the #1 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.
Selfishly, I want an offensive-minded guy, so I can build with him and be with that coach for the next 19, 17, 15 years, and so I can also learn and grow and things like that from him and what he's seen and what he's gone through with maybe other QBs.
Schefter reports that Johnson is assembling an all-star coaching staff, with former Saints head coach Dennis Allen expected to take on defensive coordinator duties. This strategic pairing signals the Bears' commitment to addressing both sides of the ball. Meanwhile, the Lions face their own challenges as they rebuild their staff. Johnson's hiring marks the second major move of this year's coaching cycle, following the Patriots' decision to bring in Mike Vrabel. Several teams, including the Cowboys, Jets, Saints, Jaguars, and Raiders, are still searching for their next leaders. Now, in a stunning display of dominance, the Boston Celtics handed the Golden State Warriors their most lopsided home loss in 40 years, securing a commanding 125-85 victory. Jason Tatum led the charge for Boston, contributing 22 points, while Kristaps Porzingis added 18 and Jaylen Brown chipped in with 17. Peyton Pritchard provided a strong bench performance with 14 points. The Celtics built a solid double-digit lead early and turned the game into a rout with a 43-24 advantage in the third quarter. The Warriors, plagued by poor shooting, particularly from long range, shot just 34.8% for the game, with star Andrew Wiggins struggling, making only 1 of 11 attempts. Stephen Curry was the lone bright spot for Golden State with 18 points, but without key players like Draymond Green, the Warriors were unable to keep pace with the defending champions. This loss marks the Warriors' 6th home defeat by 40 or more since their move to California in 1962 and their first since 1985. Now over in Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell delivered a spectacular performance, scoring 33 points, 23 of which came in a dominant second half as the Cleveland Cavaliers cruised to a 118-92 win over the Phoenix Suns. Despite missing several key players due to injury, including forward Evan Mobley and guard Isaac Okoro, the Cavs extended their lead with ease, improving their NBA best record to 36-6. The win is a testament to the Cavs' depth, as Darius Garland added 16 points and Jarrett Allen and Tristan Thompson provided solid contributions in the absence of Mobley. The Suns, on the other hand, were unable to get anything going offensively. Kevin Durant led Phoenix with 23 points, but Devin Booker struggled, scoring just 15 points, while Bradley Beal, returning from an ankle injury, only managed 5. Cleveland's defense stifled Phoenix's offense, and Mitchell hit back-to-back three-pointers late in the third quarter, extending the Cavs' lead to 93-70. This victory further solidifies the Cavaliers' position as one of the league's top teams, maintaining their impressive record both at home and against Western Conference opponents. And here are more results from around the NBA. And here's your daily dose of sports lingo. From soaring shots to low scores, an eagle on the course is every golfer's dream. 2 strokes under par, and it's a game changer. An eagle occurs when a golfer completes a hole 2 strokes under par. For example, on a par 5 hole, an eagle would be achieved by completing the hole in just 3 strokes. It's an impressive feat, highlighting exceptional skill or powerful shots, and often a crowd pleaser on the course. An eagle may not come every day, but when it does, it takes a player to new heights and a better shot at victory. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. Liang Wenchong, one of China's most celebrated golfers, is back in the Philippines for the revival of the Philippine Open. Over a decade since his remarkable act of charity captured the hearts of countless Filipinos. The 46-year-old, once ranked world number 57, is more than just a formidable competitor with 21 international titles and appearances in all 4 golf majors. He's also a philanthropist, remembered for donating half of his $135,000 US prize money after winning the Resorts World Manila Masters in 2013 to aid victims of Super Typhoon Yolanda. Liang witnessed the devastation brought by the Super Typhoon and did not hesitate to contribute $67,500 US to help victims. The Philippine Open, set at Southwoods Golf and Country Club, holds special significance for Liang, who beat Thailand's Prom Misawat in a dramatic playoff to win the inaugural Manila Masters this week. This week, he will compete as one of the most decorated players in the field, proving that his love for the game and his connection to the Philippines remains strong. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 21st of January. When we return, join us in our chat with Filipina gymnastics dynamo, Emma Malabuyo. So watch out for that when we return right here on The Scorecard.
Ikaw, Winston, ano ng mga naipundar mo? Ano ba? Sorry po, sir. Sorry po. Kalma lang. Okay lang.
Mayaman ka.
Alam mo, Han, tama ka nga sa lahat ng panalo ko. Sa inyo ako nakabingo. At mayaman din ako dahil jackpot ako sa inyo.
Good morning, everyone!
That's okay.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ferdy Salvador, sitting in for Paulo De Rosario. We bring you the news you need to stay ahead.
Rise and shine, beautiful people. I'm Ann Assis Carilo, and I'm Monique Cuzon. Your mornings are mo fun with us.
I'm loving it.
Wherever this day takes you, choose joy and spread kindness. Only here on...
It's a beautiful day!
Welcome back to The Scorecard. It took 60 years for Filipina gymnasts to see action again in the Olympics. And Emma Malabuyo showed that her talent belongs in the gymnastics global stage. And with her impressive performance in the 2024 Paris Games, she hopes to spark interest in her sport to inspire potential champions to start tumbling their way to victory.
When people say Emma Malabuyo, 2024 Olympian, what goes through your mind?
I don't think it hasn't even hit me yet that I'm an Olympian, but being able to represent the Philippines and bringing so much honor and pride to our country, it means so much to me.
Tell me a little bit about your Filipino background. Were you born here? Your parents, where are they from? Where are their roots at?
Well, I'm full Filipino, and on both sides, my grandma and my grandpa were here from the Philippines, and so they had my parents in the United States. So my parents are both from California, and then I grew up in California in the U.S.
I see. Where in California?
In LA.
Wow!
Yes,
the City of Angels.
Exactly, and the next Olympics will be in LA.
Okay. What about your gymnastics story? When did you get into it, and what got you hooked?
Yeah. When I was 5 years old, I had so much energy. I'd be jumping on the couch, learning how to do a flip, doing the monkey bars, and my mom was like, this child has so much energy. Like, I taught myself how to do a flip on the bed, and I think it comes from not being afraid of anything. I was this daredevil, willing to do anything, and so my parents decided we need to put this child in a safe environment, and so that's why they put me in gymnastics at the age of 5.
So, ever since, tuloy-tuloy na. You've been going non-stop.
Yes.
Okay. What about the idea to represent the Philippines? When did it first come about?
Yeah, so I want to say it happened in 2023. Gap reached out to me and they were trying to put a team together for Asian Championships. And so they knew that I was full Filipino and they wanted to send a team to Asian Championships. So they were like, is there any way you can represent the Philippines? And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think this was an opportunity that I could take, but they gave me the chance to represent the Philippines. And ever since then, I've enjoyed competing for them and I've had so much fun.
Seeing Carlos Yulo win 2 Olympic gold medals, what type of impact did that have on you?
Wow. Well, he never ceases to amaze me. Just watching him over the years work extremely hard, day in and day out. It's truly inspiring to me, even as a teammate. And watching that right in front of my eyes, it makes me so proud. And I'm so thankful to call him one of my brothers, too.
Because of that, how do you think Philippine gymnastics will be in the next 4 years as you guys train? And Ma'am Cynthia said it, try to send the team to LA.
For sure. I think right now, just coming back from the Paris Olympics, being able to come back here to the Philippines and inspire younger generations, we want to keep them motivated and keep encouraging the gymnastics program, especially because we haven't seen, Philippine gymnasts in 60 years at the Olympics. So we want to be able to continue building that strength and that momentum and keep inspiring other gymnasts so we can hopefully send a team to LA.
And you yourself have taken initiative with Yes Girl. Tell us about that.
Yes.
That's your initiative and you're teaching the next generation of young gymnasts.
Me and Aaliyah have had this idea since last year at Asian Championships. We were like, we're having so much fun competing for the Philippines, but what's a way where we can give back to the program and also kind of bring awareness to gymnastics on the female side. So being able to come out here to the Philippines and really show the basics of gymnastics, we want to be able to help them carry that and turn that into bigger skills so they can take it along with them for their gymnastics career.
For parents of maybe young kids like you, full of energy, what would you tell them to encourage them to, hey, maybe you want to put all that energy into gymnastics?
Yeah, I would definitely say gymnastics is the perfect sport if you have, an energetic young child. I think gymnastics is a place where it's a safe environment, but you can get all of your energy and all of those flips out. And so it's also such a fun sport and a great outlet for other athletes too.
Emma, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you
all
so
the best
much.
moving forward.
Thank you so much.
When the scorecard returns, we will look into the upcoming NBA matchups so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. We'll break down the upcoming matchups to deliver key insights that might just give you the edge you need to stay ahead of the game. The NBA playoff race is heating up and the odds are giving us a fascinating glimpse of who's in and who might be out. Let's start with the favorites. The Indiana Pacers at negative 1,200 to make the playoffs. That's a high chance of them, as close as being a lock with Tyrese Halliburton's elite playmaking and Benedict Matherin's scoring prowess. This young core right here is poised to make waves. But if you're a gambler looking for a long shot, the plus 550 on no is worth considering because injuries or a slump could always throw a wrench into their season. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Lakers, one of the Philippines' favorite teams, with odds at minus 145 to make the playoffs and plus 115 to miss. This is classic Lakerland drama. LeBron James, given he's still putting up momentous numbers in year 21, but the question mark has always been Anthony Davis. Can he stay healthy enough to keep this team competitive in a stacked Western Conference? The odds suggest that it's a close call. And let's face it, when it comes to the Lakers, chaos is always in the mix. Now over in Miami, the Heat are sitting at minus 260 to make the playoffs and plus 200 to miss. With Jimmy Butler and Eric Spoelstra at the helm, you can never count the Heat out, but the season has that on-the-edge feel. After last year's magical run as an 8th seed, the East has only gotten tougher, and Bam Adebayo will need to bring his A game every night for this team to reach their potential. Now, the Philadelphia 76ers are where things get a little bit interesting. At plus 170 to make the playoffs and minus 220 to miss, Vegas is skeptical about this team's chemistry, especially with Joel Embiid in his prime. You'd expect that they'd have better odds, but he's always in and out of the lineup. Paul George is always in and out of the lineup. Even Tyrese Maxey is always in and out of the lineup. And because of these uncertain situations with regards to their health, there is a lot of uncertainty. And finally, the San Antonio Spurs at plus 600 to make the playoffs and minus 1,400 to miss. The message is clear. This team might not be ready yet, but that's about okay. It's not about making the playoffs for the Spurs this year. It's about developing the alien, Victor Wembanyama, who is clearly a must-watch phenom. But give it 2 years, and we might be having a very different conversation about this team. So what does this all mean? The Pacers and the Heat look like solid bets to contend. The Lakers are walking a tightrope. It seems like this is the story every season. And the Sixers are one more dramatic episode away from a collapse. And the Spurs are building for a bright future. And this, guys, is why we love the NBA, because the storylines never sleep. Now, let's talk about the odds for tomorrow, January 22 at 8:30 a.m. Philippine time, live at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. The New York Knicks will face off against the Brooklyn Nets. The Knicks' offense hasn't been consistent, averaging 117 points per game, while their defense holds opponents to 114 points. Karl Anthony Towns is projected to lead the way with a 30-point, 12-rebound performance. Meanwhile, Brooklyn averages 102.1 points per game over their last 10 games, while allowing 116.4 points. Cam Johnson is expected to lead the charge with a projected 22-point performance in this high-stakes matchup. The Knicks come in as strong favorites with a minus 10.5-point spread. Now, the over-under for this game is set at 221 points, suggesting a balanced mix of offensive and defensive plays in this crosstown showdown. Now, the question is, can the Knicks dominate and further solidify their position in the Eastern Conference, or will the Nets defy the odds and break their home losing streak? We shall see. And at 11 a.m. Philippine time, live at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado, the Philadelphia 76ers will face off against the Denver Nuggets. The 76ers continues to miss key players like Joel Embiid and Paul George due to injuries. Expect Tyrese Maxey, though, to lead the charge against Denver with a projected 30-point performance to keep Philadelphia competitive. Denver has been dominant at home with a 12-8 record and continues to rely on their strong rebounding game, averaging 45.6 boards per game. Nikola Jokic is expected to deliver another all-around performance, projected to put up 25 points. The Nuggets come in as favorites with a minus 8.5-point spread, with Philadelphia missing several key players and the Nuggets firing on all cylinders. This game could be an uphill battle for the 76ers. The over-under for this matchup is set at 221.5, indicating a moderate scoring game between these two teams. So, ang tanong, can the 76ers overcome adversity and end their road skid? Or will Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets continue their home dominance? We will find out. And here are the rest of the odds for tomorrow. And that wraps up tonight's preview, so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From a legendary NBA player who spent 20 years with the Los Angeles Lakers, a 5-time champion, he won 2 Olympic gold medals, and he was an 18-time All-Star and 2008 MVP, the late, great Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant, who once said, "The moment you give up is the moment you let someone else win. And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow on The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, right here on the Billionaire News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.